we talk about masculinity, we often imagine something abstract, something cultural, political, or theoretical, but masculinity is also lived quietly, inside families, through everyday expectations, emotional labor, and responsibility. This documentary will explore how cultural ideas about masculinity shape family life, using both academic research and my own family's experience to understand how fatherhood, care, and gender roles are negotiated in everyday life.
About you nearly every night this week. How many secrets can you keep? There's this tune I found that makes me think of you somehow, and I play it on repeat until I fall asleep, spilling drinks on my settee. Do I wanna know if this feeling goes both ways? It's sad to see you go, sorta hoping that you'd stay.
Psychologists Danny Kaplan and Shira Offer argue that men's involvement in housework and childcare is deeply shaped by masculinity ideologies. Their research shows that when masculinity is defined through distance from caregiving, men may experience domestic labor as a threat to their identity, rather than a shared responsibility. This means that caregiving is not just about willingness or time, it's about what kinds of behavior are culturally coded as masculine or feminine. Okay, starting off. Growing up, how would you describe Dad's presence in our lives?
Dad's presence in our life. I think he was mean. He's like mean and angry. And should we pause it?
No, there's. No, you can.
Okay, because I can. Okay, so my dad's presence in my life was, in our life, was he was mean. He was angry. He was this authoritative, authoritarian figure of just like, he's the person who says no, who disciplines, but there wasn't much else other than that. He was I didn't go to him for comfort,
Okay. Did you ever feel like he was physically here but emotionally somewhere else? And can you give an example?
I don't know, yes, but then no, because I don't think that he was even an emotional person at all. I don't think anybody was getting that version of him. I know that he was just I think he doesn't even know how to be emotional with someone. So I think he is absent. He's absent from our lives, and he's absent from himself.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. How do you think Dad's behavior shaped the way our family communicated or also didn't communicate?
So I think we wouldn't communicate. I think he looking back, yes, he did want us not speaking to each other, not realizing that he was a problem or he was the issue. So I think he didn't have us foster communication within our family.
Yeah.
He made sure that we were not doing that. And then if we did communicate with each other, it was very awkward or pure strictly business, oh, okay, or it's asking for stuff, where's this, where's that, or oh yeah, kind of small talk, but then also or it's we're joking.
Yeah.
It was never very direct, hey, this is how you made me feel or stuff like that. We never talked about emotions or anything deeper than that.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When mom and dad were together, what did the household feel like to you?
The household, like it just, I can't even really remember what it felt. I know I didn't want to be there. Like I know I was like, I don't want to be here forever. I want to get away from here. It didn't feel like there was love here in the home. Like I wasn't ever like, I want to go home. I guess maybe as a kid you do feel like I want to be where it's familiar, but it didn't feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, what was the question again? Like, what did
I
you-
guess, like when mom and dad were together, how did the house feel like?
The house felt like, I don't know. I know that they would argue. They would argue a lot. So just like maybe sometimes tense, sometimes like, okay, like let's see how they feel today.
Yeah,
like,
that's
are we
true.
gonna have a good day or not?
Trying to read the room and stuff.
Yeah, so it was like, I don't know. Like it's like as kids, we never dictated how the house felt. They dictated how the house felt. Like, oh, one of them is mad. Okay, now we have to like wait out till they're done having their little tantrum or something. But it's just really like, kind of like suffering at the hands of whatever their mood is.
Yeah,
whatever's,
that's
like,
true.
So I was just like tense. Like you never know what you're gonna get. So I guess like anxious, you know. And then as a kid, it's like as the oldest, you're like kind of like people pleasing, like one or more of your parents. Like oh, okay, like you know, trying to joke, trying to make sure they don't feel bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah.
Okay. Do you think our dad's style of fatherhood affected the way that you see men in your relationships, like men in general, relationships, and your own identity?
Okay. So the first part is.
So do you
What's
think?
the first thing?
Do you think that his style of fatherhood affected
Yeah.
the way you see men, relationships, or your identity?
Men, relationships, identity. Okay. For men, yes. So first of all, yes, all those things. Because that's your first man you interact with.
Yeah.
Men, I guess I just thought they're supposed to be like, like I think direct, but in a mean way. Just not protective of you, like an asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, like of course men, because the only time I interact with men is really in my relationships. So yeah, like he's supposed to be an asshole. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't provide for you financially. He doesn't protect you. He is mean to you. He insults you. So all that, basically like anything negative other than like sexually abusing you or beating you, like that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So that's like, you know, what I was accepting in partners. And then identity, yeah, like I thinking that I'm supposed to deal with that I'm supposed to be the passive person that enables that person. And that you're still supposed to love that person.
Yeah.
You know, that did change my identity. I would feel like when I was younger, it does come out more so in relationships, but I don't know. I think it did make me like, okay, like at least I learned how to be, because he was more like outspoken. It kind of made me outspoken.
I see. Okay.
But that was mostly it.
Okay.
Like that's most I could take from him.
So I guess that kind of cuts into the next question, but have you noticed any habits in yourself that you think come from how dad interacted with us?
Habits? Yeah, I think like that emotional awkwardness, you know, like not, and even like within myself, you know, being like, oh, like how do, and not, you know, because I saw someone kind of like not even really be stoic, but like deny themselves emotions.
Yeah.
You know, because stoic is like, yeah, like I'm dealing with that, but like, you know, I'm not gonna be, I guess, sensitive about it, or really sensitive about it, but kind of like seeing someone not deal with their emotions, like seeing that for a while, like, and I think seeing that, like, sometimes I do fall into the habit of like trying to not feel my emotions, trying to be like, whoa,
Like avoid them and stuff.
yeah. So that emotional, like, yeah, avoidance, some emotional awkwardness. kind of joking around a lot.
Yeah,
No.
that's true.
Like not being serious sometimes, or maybe in inappropriate situations, or kind of like this level of nonchalance of like, oh well, like kind of not being sensitive about certain things. Like, you know, sometimes I see people be like sensitive or like be like, oh, like they're overwhelmed with emotion about things, and it's like, why are you crying? Like, why are you doing that? So yeah, I think sometimes, yeah, just limiting my emotions as well, or like kind of not even understanding why people react certain ways.
Yeah.
Or even making fun of them for reacting a certain way. Like, why are you doing that? Like keep it pushing.
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing?
True.
So I don't know really how to describe that in a word, but yes.
Okay. What messages about masculinity do you think we learned from watching Dad?
Masculinity? I don't know. I guess the typical stuff, you know, like being like not being emotional, being serious, be disciplined. And then if you're not being disciplined, like if they're not being serious, then they're joking around, like what's it called? And then yeah, kind of like a man being able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Right.
Free will.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like a man gets to do whatever he wants whenever he wants. Yeah, I guess that's kind of like even when masculinity is everywhere, but you know, if you see that in your home, it kind of like, I don't know, normalizes it. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Okay, lastly, do you think what we saw growing up reflects cultural expectations of fathers in our communities?
Cultural expectations of fathers? I guess because there is no cultural expectations of fathers. You know, it's like I said earlier, they can do whatever they want and there are no consequences for them. I think maybe now we're having expectations for fathers. You know, some other cultures like to say that they do, but why are we all messed up?
Yeah,
you know, so yeah, I think so. I mean, because why is he like that? Because the culture made him like that. So yeah, I think so, right? Like, because that could be a yes question.
Yeah. Okay. In my family, caregiving often appeared invisible, treated as something that simply needed to be done rather than recognized as labor. What my sister describes reflects how gender expectations are learned early, through observation, routine, and silence. Okay, so growing up, how would you describe Dad's presence in our lives?
Minimal.
Okay. Do you ever feel like he was physically here but emotionally somewhere else? And can you give an example?
Sitting on his ass all day, just being here. Kind of like, no, he wasn't really here. Unless maybe when we were younger, when we were into sports. But then after it became about education.
Yeah.
It seemed like that's when he faded out.
Okay. How do you think Dad's behavior shaped the way our family communicated or also didn't communicate?
He made us not trust anybody, not even each other, or like basically made us try to be independent, but in a callous way against others.
Okay. When Mom and Dad were together, what did the household feel like to you?
Felt fine.
Do you think his style of fatherhood affected the way you see men or other men, relationships, or even your own identity?
Yes.
Have you noticed any habits in yourself that you think come from how Dad interacted with us?
Yes.
What messages about masculinity do you think we learned from watching Dad?
Maybe just do work and provide for your family, but that was also under a false pretense. So
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Do you think that, do you think what we saw growing up reflects cultural expectations of fathers in our community?
yes.
Don't leave me, it can't be that easy, babe. If you believe me, I guess I'll
My brother's experience shows how masculinity is not fixed, but negotiated, shaped by cultural norms and personal reflection. Sociologist Jennifer Randall describes what she calls a hybrid fatherhood, a model where men are encouraged to be emotionally involved fathers, but without fully disrupting traditional masculine roles. Fathers are expected to take care, but still remain providers first. Even policies meant to promote responsible fatherhood often reinforce these expectations, framing masculinity in ways that create how care is expressed. Listening to my family, I began to see how these academic theories weren't distant or abstract. They shaped what felt normal, acceptable, and expected inside of our home. This research helped me understand that individual choices are often constrained by cultural narratives about masculinity, responsibility, and care. By placing my family's experiences alongside sociological and physiological research, I realized that masculinity is not just taught, it is lived, negotiated, and passed down. This documentary shows that understanding family life requires multiple forms of knowledge, academic research and personal experience, and cultural critique. Together, they reveal how deeply masculinity shapes not only fathers, but families as a whole. I'm going to be asking you some questions. First question: how would you describe Dad's role as a partner when you were together?
So when we just got together, Dad did take the responsibility of him being the main household, like when you guys were little. He like Dad was did help me take care of you guys when you guys were little, and then as I think even at school age, he was helpful, like taking care of you guys. And then he did help a lot in the house, like when you guys were in school age. But once you guys became teenagers, like he didn't really interact anymore with you guys, or I did consider him the main household, but not knowing that I was actually doing his part.
Yeah.
Me being the responsible of like finances and just taking care of the needs of the family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And did you ever feel he was emotionally available to you? Why or why not?
At the beginning of our relationship, he was. I remember that he did care. He would listen to like what I had to say regarding my feelings.
Yeah.
But I think as when we had Valerie, I felt like yes, that's. But once we had Kenny, I think that emotionally, like he didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like and it was like a roller coaster. Like at times, like once we had you, like yes, he was like okay, he was. I think once we had you again, like he would care because I'm like at times I'm like he would pay attention when I would tell him I'm stressed out of like having the three of you and like everything that I'm responsible that I have to do. But I think that, like I said, once he once you guys were teenagers, like he was checked out. Like he wouldn't ask me like, how are you doing? I'm like, and I will actually let him know like, okay, you're not doing that. Like you just come home and like you don't even talk to me, you don't even ask me anything. And then eventually, like, you know, you guys started getting older. We wouldn't even really both, myself and him, like we just wouldn't even really care about each other's feelings anymore.
Yeah. Okay. And what kinds of emotional or relational responsibilities fell on you because he didn't take them on?
Say it again.
So what kind of emotional or relational responsibilities fell onto you because he did not take them on?
I think that, like regarding the feelings for you guys, for like the children, like maybe when you guys were little, like, okay, he will be like, okay, like, let me see what's wrong.
Yeah.
But you guys were like babies.
Yeah.
But as you guys started getting older, I don't think that he was really into like, oh, let me see, like, let me check on them. And I will have to like remind him like, hey, like, you know, we need to do this, we need to do that. But I'm like, I would notice that he would do it for other people, like his nephews or even, you know, his sisters.
Like her cousins and stuff.
And he wanted to know, like, okay, are they okay? But I would remind him, like, okay, what, like, you need to be there for our kids. Like, those are our kids. Like, you should be responsible emotionally for them. Like, check in with them. Like, how are they doing? Like, you know, how did, like, are they okay with what was happening? You know, you're bringing in other children into our house, and as I got older, it's like, okay, he's just like, okay, like, nah. I could see like, okay, he wasn't really checking in on you guys. So
yeah, that's true. So most people think of a good father, essentially, a good father is one who provides financially. What do you think about that idea?
I think that yes, that I think that I actually thought that was a good father, like being a provider, always like, you know, being the one that we like, the husband, the father should be the one that should be the one to make sure that, you know, the financially that we're stable. And I think that at first, I think that Dad was doing that. But then, or maybe I thought that he was doing that because I was just like accustomed that we just put our money together and but as you guys got, like I said, everything, it seems like when you guys were little and as you guys started getting older, it seems like the financial responsibility became mine instead of like me thinking like, okay, and then it just became like normal. I didn't really question it. I was like, okay, like, I guess I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, those are my children, and I didn't really like maybe enforce it. If I would have enforced it a little bit more, maybe he would have done it. But I think it just came I normalized it for him to be like, okay, you just, as long as you pay the mortgage, you don't have to do anything else. Financially, no responsibilities. We didn't talk about it much.
Okay. So following up with that question, did you ever feel that he was there but not really there?
Say it again?
I said, did you ever feel that he was there but not really there? Like his presence is here, but he's not like emotionally checked in, or he's like somewhere else, or?
I think that
like when we were young, I think both of us were like super busy,
Uh-huh.
and maybe if he was in there, I didn't really pay attention to it because I was busy myself.
Yeah.
And then and you guys were in school age. It was still like we still had a busy life, so I wasn't really paying attention. Like, is he even involved in
Yeah.
the family?
Mm-hmm.
But once we moved here, all of you guys were teenagers, and I noticed that he was checked out. Like, in this house, it's just like things just changed.
Yeah.
And like he was just like, okay, like I said, he only paid for the mortgage, and he didn't really. I noticed that things changed. And it was I would think that because it was a smaller house that we were gonna be closer, and it just became like I think we were more distant, and to me it seemed like he became an absent father and an absent husband. Like he was just living here, providing to pay the mortgage, and not really engaging as a father and as a husband.
Yeah. Okay. And how do you think our dad's emotional absence shaped us as kids?
I think that due to the fact that he wasn't checking in, there's many times that we didn't talk about
Yeah.
what was happening to everyone.
Yeah.
Like everyone is going through their own thing, and due to the fact that maybe like the person that supposed to be the household, the main household, is like not bringing up anything, and we're just going on with their life, maybe brushing things, like not acknowledging that we are going through things, and not even though as parents we might have seen it, but we're not. So I think that the fact that him being absent, and I think that there's not communication in the household.
Yeah.
We were just living here, but we were not really talking to each other.
Yeah, that's true. What did you worry about the most when it came to his relationship with us?
What I worried is like, what I really worried is like, okay, is he actually like does he care about you guys?
Yeah.
Because I cared about, like, you guys are my kids. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what, like, my kids come first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, does he think the same? Like, because those are our kids.
Yeah.
Like, does he care? Does he care about other people more than my kids? So that was my fear. Like, okay, him not loving you guys the same as me.
As you would, yeah. Okay. How would you describe the difference in the home environment now that you no longer live there, or when you moved away?
So even now, that he's not here, that we moved away, and that we moved that.
Mm-hmm.
The difference of when we were here. I feel that now, him not being here in this house, I feel like there's not a lot of disagreements.
Yeah.
There is disagreements, but I feel like there's not arguments, because there's just like we do disagree as
A
your
family.
children and with me. Like, I know that you guys are adults, and I'm like, okay, I'm open to disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with that, there's a lot of arguments, like, because to me, he was just not open anymore, like, to wanting to understand, like, where we're at as a family. And because he's already checked out, he didn't even want to work on it. He was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that, and if you guys don't like it, well, that's
Not
on
too
you
bad,
guys.
Okay. Lastly, does the state of the house now reflect anything about him, in your opinion?
Yeah, like right now, how it is, like especially like my room, like
Yeah.
it's a mess. It's
Yeah.
a mess, and I think that you know, like the way that how he affected me, like he did create chaos in my head,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's my room, you know, like
Like a
I
reflection
can't-
of what your mind looks like.
I can't put it together still,
Yeah.
and I feel like the house. I just feel like the house is a mess because the family is a mess right now.
Yeah.
And
Like a scattered brain.
mm-hmm,
Like in a
it's
right
like
way.
things like they're out of place, and I feel like that's how, like, kind of like how we're feeling, like okay, let's just leave it later, like for later, and that's how I, like, not that the house was like nice and neat when he was here, when we were all here as a family,
Yeah.
but it's just a disarray of like so many things, because we're trying to like take out dad's things and bring our stuff, but then we're trying to put it together, but then at the same time it's like hard, and like just straightening out things and
Like finding
making
a
it
home.
livable.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, cool. Hey there.